Hey, my name is Ken, and I have been so excited about changes that are going on in my life right now that I just wanted to put them down into a video and just share how I've been feeling. I've been coaching for about 6 or 7 years, helping people grow confidence, grow resilience, and to use their character strengths to accomplish new things and to develop better relationships and feel better about their lives and be more optimistic about the future. I have always loved the concept of positive psychology. Positive psychology is the science of developing things that are not just the negatives, right? And developing interventions that people outside of a clinical setting can use to improve their lives and to develop hope, optimism, resilience. These are very powerful character traits that help you out in life, in whatever you do. And I applied to the Masters of Applied Positive Psychology at UPenn, which is headed by the founder of positive psychology, Martin Seligman, this past year. I wasn't necessarily expecting to get in, but I've been ecstatic. And as of recording this program, I've already began the program. We had orientation, we flew in, and it's still very much a beast that I'm trying to figure out right now. And so before I've figured it all out, I just wanted to throw my thoughts into here about like what excites me about the program, why I got into the program, what changes are going on in my life. I think the future is going to be challenging because there are going to be newer challenges, difficulties that come up that we as human beings need to tackle with, individually, as communities, and as a world community as well. And I think that it's extremely easy for all of us to sink inward and to only pay attention to the things that matter to us and to ignore everything else. And I'm somebody who strongly believes that the future needs optimistic, gritty, and resilient people. I think that's how we have accomplished every single thing that human beings have ever accomplished. We need people to be at their best if we are going to have a chance at building a brighter and better society in the future, better communities, and a better world. So that's my belief. I also think that life is just fundamentally more interesting when people have hope. I think that there is so much cynicism and pessimism today, and that's not my problem, or I can't do anything about that, that people lose sight of the fact that together as communities, as people who can organize and create change, that there is a lot of control that we're just giving up. And I think it's a very slippery slope when you start ceding up your own personal control, because that can infect your own lives, right? Things that you are starting to neglect, things that you are starting to write off as things that you don't have control over anymore. And so I think it is extremely important to develop optimism, not only as a means to, see the future as bright, but also as an exercise to remember that you do have control and that your place in your own life and in the world around you requires you to take action. It requires you to get your hands into the dirt sometimes and work and to do the difficult things. And so that's why I'm super excited about studying at basically the best place I could ever study positive psychology, by the founders, by some of the best professors out there in positive psychology. And I'm super excited to share what I learned eventually and share my thoughts with people on the internet, people online, maybe give talks to students and various organizations. I think that spreading this idea that psychology also studies flourishing and thriving and growth and expansion of your well-being is extremely important. And I have never met a single person who was not already a coach or a therapist that knew what positive psychology was. So that means every single person I've talked to on the street, every acquaintance I've met, that I've introduced positive psychology to, they've never heard of it before. And that's because psychology fundamentally in the popular discussion, in societal discussion, is usually reduction of the negative. But there is so much more to psychology than just reducing and mitigating the negative. Positive emotion, engagement, meaning, relationships, and accomplishment. These concepts are critical to human well-being and societal well-being. And I think these ideas And these interventions and these approaches can very much change your life. And I'm a believer in them, and I'm going through this process myself. You know, as somebody that grew up pessimist, I love the idea that resilience and optimism can be created and built and trained and learned. And that to me is one of the most foundational beliefs that I've developed over the years, both as a person before I was a coach and then also as a coach. You are not just the cards that you were dealt at the beginning of your life or even in the early formative years of your life. You can change. You can learn to be more resilient, more optimistic. You can learn how to be more open and engaged with the world. And this brings tangible, scientifically proven effects of well-being, longevity, attention, satisfaction to your life. And so what my hope is from studying this program is to learn all of those mechanisms, apply them as a coach, but also share some of my favorite ideas and memories and thoughts and applications with you guys. To finish this video off on a more personal note, I'm leaving a lot of the people that I grew up behind, including people that I love very, very much. And it's been very difficult to reconcile that, finding this new beautiful thing in this program and moving to a new state and to get more immersed in the people on campus and around the program. And it has been very tough for me because it's also very, very bittersweet, because I don't like leaving my loved ones. I don't like leaving the only support network I've ever known. And so it's difficult, and maybe I'll talk about it more in another video. But as somebody who grew up a pessimist, I'm choosing my best and working on my best to see the hope, to see the promise of what could happen and what can go right, because there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of likely good memories ahead of me. So I'm going to stay optimistic and hopeful and make the best out of this experience, even though I have zero clue how any of this is going to turn out. And I think that's the message that I want to leave you with, that life is often uncertain. And the best thing that we can do is put our best foot forward, stay faithful, stay hopeful, continue learning and growing and experiencing, exploring, and connecting with the people and the world around us. Thank you. See you on the next one.